a sign-and-trade deal with the 76ers. He will reportedly sign a multi-year deal with 2 years, $21 million guaranteed. Hield has been one of the top three-point shooters in the last 5 seasons and will be tapped to fill the hole left by the departure of Klay Thompson. Now, he's a strong shooter. He's a 40% career three-point shooter, which plays into the Warriors' game. And he is the most three-pointers made in the last 5 seasons, just above Steph Curry.
Oh, because Curry missed like a full season.
And
right?
it's okay.
Wow, that's a stat.
That's a great one. This is the Warriors' game. And again, he's led the league in three-pointers the last 5 seasons.
Well, Jason Tatum on that list. Look at that.
Yeah.
Fourth best
Not
player
bad.
in the NBA, yeah.
But some Warriors fans have already started calling him and Curry the Splash Buddies, which, like, no, guys.
It's good.
Yeah, I guess for Buddy Hield, but, like, when you have such an iconic nickname for a team, you got to, like, completely rebrand. You can't go from Splash Brothers to Splash Buddies.
Buddies? You don't like that? Buddies is fun. So basically, you lose Klay Thompson and you replace him with Buddy Hield and DeAnthony Melton.
Yeah.
Are those two guys combined better than what Klay was last year? And that's an interesting question. I had a Warriors buddy trying to tell me, like, listen, those two combined, plus Kyle Anderson, who's okay. I know he can't shoot, but Chris Paul's always hurt. Like, is there a world where they really didn't lose that much? I know the name Chris Paul and the name Klay is like, oh, they lost huge. But if you look at the numbers, like Buddy Hield, I didn't realize that stat. He doesn't play any defense, but he's a bit of a chucker. Remember, wasn't it in against the Knicks? Is that it? No, that's not the highlight. But against the Knicks, they like dusted him off because Nurse wants guys who play D. He don't play a lot of D. So then he finally comes in late in the series and was like, holy cow, where's this flamethrower bit? Yeah, this is the game.
Yeah.
But Buddy Hield just couldn't miss. I think he had like 6 threes. So he can fill it up. He doesn't play any D.
And remember, when you're playing with other great players like a Steph Curry, it's always going to elevate your game. There's like the effect. You have like the Tom Brady effect, the Steph Curry effect, the LeBron effect. When players come in to greatness, you want to level up and be on their level. And as we're seeing here with the stat, I mean, him and Curry are 1 and 2 for most three-pointers made in the last 5 seasons. Could be fun.
Jacking. Yep. Alex Curry with the news.
Well, that's the news.
Self-reflexive, if that's a thing, self-reflective. So, one year you're on, like, back in the day, a media rising stars list. And then the next year the list comes out and you're not on it. And you're like, the stupid list. Who made this garbage? And then you realize, like, oh, I made it last year, but I'm not this year. Like, that's stupid. And why do I even care? Which brings me to Kevin Durant and his guy, Rich Kleiman, his business partner, they're boys. So I made my list yesterday of the top 10 players in the NBA. And you'll see Kevin Durant not on the top 10. And I know that's sacrilegious, obviously. But I'll point out, we went to the morning meeting. I had Durant at 10, and I had him beat off. I know he only played 39 games. Jason, why is Embiid on there? When you look at what he did accomplish in 39 games and the playoffs, Embiid was pretty freaking awesome. KD, I moved KD out. I put Embiid in. So then we go post it on social. Wes, the social guy, puts it on Instagram. And wouldn't you know, KD's business partner chimes in that the list is gross, okay, because his guy's not on there. And then I proceed to ask, well, okay, like, who should I remove to put KD in? He goes, oh, no, it's your list. You do that. But to not have KD on there, that's just dumb. I was like, all right. And Kevin Durant's in a weird place right now, guys. Not the first time that's been said. He's kind of on this island unto himself, but the island has like this massive antenna that picks up everything. Anything that's on social media, Kevin Durant and his guys see it. They do. It's like they're crawling, grabbing anything Durant related and being like, should we respond to this? Is this fair? And it's just a weird place to be for a guy who's one of the all-time greats. We can say in the same sentence, Kevin Durant is a top 20 player in the history of basketball, but right now he's not a top 10 player in the league. And how is that? Well, he's fallen off a cliff since the injury. And I don't want to keep coming back to this, but KD, I happened to watch Anchorman yesterday. It was on TV or 2 days ago. And my kids were around, and I obviously had to mute some stuff. But when Ron Burgundy reads the prompter and says what he says, that guy comes on. He's like, why, Ron? Why? Why'd you say that? Why'd you say bleep you, San Diego? And I just asked, like, KD, why did you leave Golden State? Like, why? And we asked earlier, Sam Amick, and he had a good answer, and I believe it. It makes sense. I get it. You're going to do what you want to do. You're a wanderer. Go. That's fine. But why did you leave? You were on top of the world, literally. 2-time finals MVP. Best player in the league. And it's been all downhill since. The guy has 2 playoff series wins, I'm pretty sure, since leaving. That's the same amount of times he's left places, right? He's now in Phoenix, and there was a report last week. Hey, Kevin Durant Rockets, keep an eye on it. I don't know, guys. I looked at the numbers. Embiid has him. Embiid's a better passer at this stage in his career. KD, I know, he's getting up there, and he's 36 in September. Guy's still one of the most lethal shooters in the league, but go look at his numbers across the board. They're down from 5 years ago, and I know he's getting up there, but, I feel like Embiid makes his teammates better than KD does. And maybe I can't get the recency bias of KD getting swept and Anthony Edwards talking trash to him and KD being powerless to stop Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. That's kind of embarrassing. They were also, by the way, in Brooklyn, swept by the Celtics. It just has not been pretty for Kevin Durant since leaving Golden State. And it's kind of a sad state of affairs. But I don't want to go too hard on KD. So let's pivot to Caitlin Clark. And folks, sometimes you'll come across that are just kind of mind-blowing. And this week, the WNBA announced the All-Star votes. And I think I told this story. I definitely told it on my podcast that for the first time in my life, I voted for the WNBA All-Stars. Like a pop-up came or something, and I always X them out. But then I was like, oh, WNBA All-Stars, I'll vote, right? So you fire off the votes. I'd never done that in my life, okay? So then the All-Star vote tallies came out. And what you're about to see, I believe, are the craziest numbers in sports that I've seen this year. Look at the All-Star voting last year versus this year. The number 1 vote getter, Wilson from the Aces, got 96,000 votes. Number 1 vote getter. The number 1 vote getter this year, Caitlin Clark, got 701,000 votes. My mind is struggling to comprehend that's how many more people voted this year than last year. Now, the voting's funny. Obviously, they're Boston, who I don't even think is that good on the Fever, the second highest votes this year, 619,000. I'm going to remind you, nobody cracked 100,000 last year. Nobody in the league. This year, a ton of people did. All because of, take a guess, Caitlin Clark. Okay? Listen, I know Angel Reese is having a great year, and she's double-doubles galore, and she's an all-star as well. You see she made the list. I'm sorry. She didn't drive a 5, 6, 7x improvement in all-star vote getting. That wasn't Angel Reese. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. This really is a Beyonce effect. This is a Taylor Swift effect. And it's funny, I floated this in the staff meeting earlier this week. I was like, it's interesting. Remember earlier this season, there was all this drama around Caitlin Clark, cheap shots, clotheslines, negative jabs in the media, people going on social media. That's all kind of stopped, hasn't it? Huh? Have you noticed? Last couple weeks? Crickets? What's going on there? Now, conspiracy theory Jason, let me get my tinfoil hat out from under the desk. Wonder if the league saw the All-Star votes coming in and was like, yo, we need to let the teams know. Fall back on the Caitlin Clark stuff. You guys can diminish and poo-poo the ratings. By the way, Caitlin Clark played, I believe it was in Vegas this week, and the audience was 20,000 in the arena. The largest attendance for a WNBA game in 20 years. Hey, guys, WNBA players, I know you're upset. You've been a star for 5 years. Guess what? Nobody cared. Sorry. Diana Taurasi, you got an amazing history. Amazing. You're a basketball icon, first ballot Hall of Famer, all that stuff. People just didn't care when you were doing it. They care now. They're paying attention now because of Caitlin Clark. And this is not to diminish what the other people accomplished. The other people... You guys accomplished awesome stuff. It just did not draw people in the way Clark is. So I wonder if the league let teams know, hey, guys, the numbers don't lie. You can pretend, the ratings, blah, 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 and the packed arenas and all this stuff. You guys can look at the All-Star numbers, okay? They're undeniable. I mean, Breanna Stewart could deliver a pizza to the studio. I probably wouldn't know who she is, but look at the number of votes she got. She went from 88,000 to 424,000. This is mind-blowing stuff. And I know there's a lot of people, oh, Jason, why are you calling about Caitlin Clark? They're not even top 8 in the WNBA. Yeah, and they had 3 people voted to the All-Star team, the most of any team in the league, okay? So just miss me with the whole Caitlin Clark's overrated. Just stop. You just sound dumb and uneducated, and you don't want to pay attention to the numbers in reality. So I've gone off now on Caitlin Clark, haters, Kevin Durant. Who the hell knows what I'm going to do in the final hour here and the week before I go on vacation? I don't know, Alex. I'll try to keep it clean.
You woke up and you chose violence today,
I think all the executives are on vacation, so it doesn't really matter.
It
Anyways,
matters.
we're going to do the